Yes, and you're listening to Dangerfield Sunday Prescription. This is going to be a weird one, I suppose. I'm going to Cambodia in the morning and I've done fuck all in preparation. I wrote a list. It says 1, toothbrush, 2, Xanax, and that is all I've done for the entire holiday. Of course, the girlfriend has been preparing for months. She's got a new message or a new phone call every day. Have you got your holiday shoes? Have you got your holiday soap? Yes, I've got all that taken care of. And she'll be here in about an hour and I haven't done anything. So happy holidays there. It's Sunday the 3rd of May and welcome to, I don't even know, have I already introduced, you know where you are, Dangerfield Sunday Prescription. Yes, I remember saying it. It's going to be a bit like this. It's going to be a bit rapid. It's a bit unprepared, inept and unable. I think 3 words that spring to mind. And I certainly hope that another 45 minutes worth of words spring to mind because I've got nothing written down, no notes. I am shattered, I do apologise, but I will get it done, I will get it out there. There's no editing here, there's no deleting or starting again, I haven't got time, that clock is ticking and I got a plane to catch. I need to clear some stuff up. Doctor Who watch. Remember I told you I met Sylvester McCoy and Peter Davison and Tom Baker. Well, I also met Christopher Eccleston, and there's another Doctor Who that I met in Soho House, which is weird. That's where I also met Peter Davison. That kind of place is a TARDIS, isn't it? Well, you go in there and it feels like 1998 anyway. So, little bit of cussing of Soho House there. Oh, and another one. You know Pertwee, can't remember his first name. You know Pertwee, the oldest of doctors, I think. I met his son. Of course, everyone knows Sean Pertwee. He walks around Soho saying a load of people thinking they know him, but weirdly they do know him because he always says hello to them. So that is a lot of Who's. That is Davison, McCoy, Baker, Eccleston, son of Pertwee, and of course Clive Sinclair, who is sort of a Doctor Who by default. So I just wanted to clear that up before we started. The news this week. Hey, what's happened this week? Yeah, that fucking bird died. Is he a Scouser? What's his name? Orville died this week. Hey, get in the back of the old man's Granado. I don't know where Orville's from. And of course Orville isn't dead. Keith Harris is dead. Orville's not dead. But in a way he is as well. The man who put his hand up the arse of Orville has died. I wonder, when I heard that, the first thing I thought was, I wonder if they buried Orville with him. It's the sort of thing they do, isn't it? Like, and as we rest the body of Keith Harris to the ground, we put the furry bag of feathers that was Orville on the coffin, and everyone's like, oh, it's what he would have wanted. And you can't help but think he probably fucking hated that thing. You know, it must have became like another being to him. It must have had a consciousness to him. You can imagine him getting home after a bad gig and fucking shaking, you fucking Orville, you little shit, you fucked up. Like holding it by the neck and banging it, punching in the fucking head, and doing its voice while he's attacking it. I fucking hate you, Orville. No, I hate you, Keith Harris, you're a shit. You were shit, not me. The crowd loved me. And he's punching it. I wonder if he ever fucked it. Can you imagine? Imagine him out on the pool going, oh, well, ladies, you know what I've got? I got 2 of us. It's that threesome, me, Orville, and you. And him, oh, that's it, fuck it. And I wonder if he ever did. Oh, he gets home, throws the bird on his bed, the Orville bird. Oh, no, throw me on the bed. And unbuttoning his trousers. Oh, you're going to get it tonight, Orville. And resting his cock on its beak. That's it, you dirty little puppet. Good Lord. That's, I can't edit this sort of shit. It's there. I can't delete. I haven't got time. So I apologise about fucking Orville. But, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, I'm Ashley from Coronation Street as well. Come on out, kid. Fuck the bird, Keith. Fuck the bird. Some would say offensive. I'm sick of this offensive bullshit. As a comedian, I've had it all the way through. Apparently I am an offensive comedian, but it's fucking bullshit. I've done about 10 interviews in the last few months, and whatever they pretend to be interviewing me about, it always comes back to that, what's the line? Where's the boundary? Where don't you go? And what's offensive? Let's just get this sorted out. Right, hang on. Take a breath. Yeah, I'm going to give you space for a bit of air. I've been rambling fast and all that shit and Doctor Who, and it's a lot. So breathe in. Oh, there's me trying to give you a nice moment of breath, and all I done was snorted mucus. Breathe in. Clear my nose. Right, apologies. Right, calm the fuck down. Okay, they're all outside the pub, and it's Friday evening, so, you know, I'm in Cambodia when you hear this. Yeah, I fucking hope I am, otherwise I'm at the bottom of the ocean. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, breathe in. Do it. No, let's do it again. If you just do it, right, ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Just have a moment. There you go. Okay. Right, these offensive cunts. This thing about you can't offend someone. That's not possible. You cannot offend someone. Nothing I can say can offend someone. Offence is not something you can give. It's something that you take. You choose to be offended. And that's not a bad thing. If you want to be offended, if you have a reason, some psychological reason, you want to show people that you object to something, then sure, take offence, and then that will be dealt with. But let's not pretend it's something that someone else has done. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I went to see that comic, and he said something about coleslaw, and oh God, I won't have people saying that about coleslaw. I just won't have it! You know, and as ridiculous as that sounds, that's exactly what it is when people get offended. And the irony here, of course, is one of the funny things about so-called offensive stuff, what makes it funny is you're laughing at the potential there is there to offend. I mean, I like the people who get offended, because that's what everyone's laughing at. When you go on stage and go, cunt, mother, bum, fucker, cunt, willy, gob, bollocks, dead, children, and people laugh because they know that somewhere someone's going, oh no, you don't say that, you know, because weirdly people want silence. Weirdly people don't want stuff aired. They don't want humans to be human, and that's kind of funny. And you when you say something at a gig or even in a social situation that's edgy or whatever that means, people look around. That's what's funny about it. They laugh and they look around, and what they really want to see is someone who's upset, someone who has chosen to take offence, and that's where the laughter's aimed, at people like that. They're hilarious. It's why religious people are funny without realising it, because you know they take offence. They're arseholes, and they find all manner of things to get the ump about, like their poxy religion. I can't be doing with that sacred shit. Oh no, don't say anything about my religion. It's sacred. It's sacred to you, but it's bullshit to me. So it means nothing to me. It's not sacred. Nothing is sacred. It's bullshit. Okay. I saw this documentary the other night about, what's it called? Help if I can remember. Fighters on God. No, it wasn't called that. I can't remember. But it was about these religious fanatics. And let's be right about this. All religious people are fanatics. All religious people are extremists. This idea that there's a religious extremism it actually gets people who are just normal religious fanatics off the hook, because they are extreme ideas: virgin births, horses with wings flying to Mount Solomon, resurrection, creationism. It's fucking extreme. All of that is insane. It's mental. That is already extreme. Praying, worshipping, heaven, hell, life after death is all so ridiculously extreme. Positing the idea of a fanatic gets them off the hook. Don't let it happen. They're all absolutely crackers, and their ideas are as far out there as any other historical ideas ever have been. Good. I'm glad I've established that. So I saw this documentary about they were cage fighters and they were religious, and of course it doesn't add up. I mean, they had this church leader on there somewhere giving it this, you know, he was saying in the Bible it says don't beat the shit out of your fellow man, you know, and he was saying there's nothing of the Christian spirit in cage fighting, but they were desperately trying to defend it, and it's totally illogical. It was excellent. They were like, you know, when I'm fighting a man, I'm communicating the message. God works through people, and in that cage, I can, you know, I'm making contact with a man and with the crowd, and I will say when I win, I will say that I won because God gave me power. Yeah, God gave me courage, gave me spirit. It takes balls to get in that cage, and God gave me those balls. Yeah. God gave me a penis. No, they didn't say that. But like, this was their shtick, and it was bullshit, and it was great to see them getting a pounding. They all did, except for one, fair enough. But most of the religious cage fighters were shit. And it was alright watching them get an elbow round the jaw and falling flat on the floor. And then, and then afterwards sort of going, God's plan is weird, but with a fucking lip hanging off. I don't know God's plan. I just know that he wants to help me. Ridiculous. I can't be doing with that shit. Oh, sorry. It's, you know, you're gonna get this for 40 odd minutes. I don't even know how long we've got. Hang on. Bomb Patrol. More American lunatics. I watched this thing called Bomb Patrol. Bomb Patrol. These soldiers have been trained in. They built them up as if they were these elite soldiers, and that they could go out there and they were trained in dealing with improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and it was like, Afghanistan, the most dangerous place on planet Earth. Every day American soldiers are at the, you know, the kind of shit. And it had all this stuff, and you had them walk into screen, that sort of Reservoir Dogs slow-mo, but they had like M16s over their shoulders and fucking bullet belts going over the other shoulder, and like slow motion, there was sun glinting off their mirror shades. Bomb Patrol. And they were shit. Right, it's no surprise that Americans at war have always failed, and in the end they're like, just fucking nuke them, like when they done Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They're the world's worst soldiers. It's a history of failure. You know, they're out there. Afghanistan, the Afghan people, they're a war people. They have been at war forever. You know, there is a bigger underground infrastructure, like Vietnam. There's a bigger underground infrastructure over there than there is above ground. Those caves, and they're war caves, they're war people. No one has successfully invaded Afghanistan ever, and that includes the Americans, and it includes the Russians. You can't do it. They're fucking warriors. You see those Taliban troops walking around, they've got a sheet on their back and a scarf on their head. That's it. And you see the Yanks with their 500-pound kits and their rations and their grenades and their guns and their fucking radios and their GoPro cameras stuck on the front of their fucking helmets filming everything, and their Chinook helicopter support and all that. And then when you hear they're just scattering and there's arms falling off. Oh man. And then these Ghani blokes, 3 of them, who seem to have taken on about 1,000 Americans, they just disappear. They come and go like ghosts. And these American kids who've got no idea. They don't know. This is the other thing. They don't know why they're there. They continually try and justify it, and it always comes down to one thing, and it's the one thing they can say for sure. I'm just doing my job. You know, I got a job to do. I'm a soldier. And you look at that, oppose that to when you hear the Afghanis talk. This is my country. This is my children. Where's the food for my children? This is my family. This is my planet. This is my earth. I love my earth. You know, this is everything they've got. And to the Yanks, it's my job. And in this bomb patrol, after they've built them up and made them out to be something from a movie, unsurprising, the reality of it is far different. Basically, an Afghani person sees a lot of fresh earth, and they know that a bomb's been planted. So they then tell the Americans turn up about 20 Humvees, don't know what that is, they just kept saying it's some sort of vehicle, and they look at this mound of earth from about a mile away, but all the Ghanis are just walking round it, like, smoking fags and prodding it with sticks. And the Yanks are about a mile away with like infrared binoculars and doing aerial scans and sonar, fuck knows what, and hours, and there's like these little Ghani kids just kicking footballs around. And finally, after all this consideration and mapping and pinpointing and radios and all this cack, they finally just send a robot up there every single time. There's 6 episodes of this bomb patrol. I don't advise you watch it, it's cack, but watch the first one and you'll see what I mean. After all this, they drive this robot. It's like a big track. Well done, big track. It's like a little toy tank with tracks on it, only about as big as a milk crate. And there's a kid in the back, this American kid. I'm just doing my job. And he's got like a PlayStation control. I shit you not. It is a PlayStation control. And he's like got these visor over his face like Luke when he's going to do the Death Star. And it's like, and this thing, it just looks shit. It's bouncing all over the earth. And it's got like this sort of arm on it that comes out. It looks like something off of Robot Wars. This like it's just got springs hanging out of it with another GoPro camera on the end, and these sort of little pincers, and the bloke in the front's going left. I said go left, and the kid in the back's going, I'm sorry, the fucking it's just like he's playing a computer game. The control, it doesn't work. I'm going left and it's not going left. And it finally gets up there. This is the end of like 9 hours planning. And the Ghanis are just, by this time, they're all just bedding down, smoking opium, having a kip. And he gets this robot thing up to about 3 meters from the bomb. And it just tips over. It just, bomb patrol. It just tips over, and he goes, "Hey, Sarge, it tipped over," and they know they're on camera, and he's the captain or whatever it is. He's no Willard. He's sort of going. He goes, "Okay, we're gonna have to send another bot up. Get the other robot out." So then they get another one of these fucking Robot Wars things out, and it's like the first one, but even shitter. Right, it looks like it's been built from an old computer and a fucking sieve. And it's, again, he's driving out there, and the voiceover's like, years of training has made these US Marines the best in the world. And then, the incongruity is incredible. It takes a special kind of guy to work with IUDs. It gets up next to the fallen robot. It sort of pulls up next to it. And it's almost like it looked at it and just broke down. And again, it's not working. And it's like the second robot has died. And he says... He goes, oh, what's happened is that because the other one gave up, like he went, no, I'm not going anywhere near, I'm not going nearer the bomb, this is my limit, because the other one gave up, the radio waves are still flowing, and so it's interrupting this one. So the captain, now knowing that they look like the rubbish soldiers they are, he goes, "Okay, send back up three, over." And he gets out this thing, and it's nothing. It's like a roller skate with an electric toothbrush engine on it. And it's like, and it goes up there, and it's sort of too fast for, and it's sort of bouncing around, and you expect some cartoon music, and it's sort of going forward and backwards, and it has to sort of like do a 50-point turn to go 90 degrees. And the bloke in the front's the captain's getting well pissed off, and he knows it's all on film, and the bloke's in the back going, "Hang on, I know what I'm doing, I'm just trying to," and a bomb just takes them all out, and that's it. The Ghanis are happy. The bomb's gone, and it's taken 9 hours, 3 robots, about 50 men, must have cost about $100,000 at least. It's just incredible. The weird thing is, that's all they do anyway. The rest of the series is just these soldiers going up to these bombs, putting some C4 on it, getting out the way, blowing it up. That's it. You don't need much training to do that, and yet still they manage to fuck it up. The second mission, they're driving up, same again. Some Ghani sees a load of earth and goes, "There's a bomb, there's a bomb." I don't know what that was. "There's a bomb, there's a bomb over there." That's how they talk out there. They sing, essentially, the Ghani people. They go up to the Americans and they go, "Mr. America, there's a bomb over there. Can you blow up your shitty robot?" No. Basically, they point at the bit of earth, the Americans look at it for hours, put some explosives on it and detonate it. That's it. Second mission, driving over a little bridge, tank goes over the side. They just stall it, and they're getting all the locals to help them try and lift their tank back onto the bridge. It's fucking ridiculous. The American comedian Andy Andrist, check him out. It's on. There's a couple on YouTube. It's obviously going to be better live, but he's a US act, and he does this great bit where he goes, "Hey, do you all support the troops?" And everyone goes, "Yeah, yeah." The whole crowd like, "Yeah," and then he goes, "Yeah, what do you do?" Silence, because no one does anything. Fuck all. And he goes, "Oh, I get it. You shout." And I was thinking, in an English, imagine being in an English gig and going, "Do you support the troops?" Well, you wouldn't say it like a Yank. You go, "Who here supports the troops?" And people are going to go, "Yeah, yeah." And then you just go, "Where are they?" I couldn't tell you. Where are their English troops fighting or doing anything at the moment? Maybe there's some in Afghanistan. Who knows? No one knows. No one gives a shit. When people... Whoa! Shit! Right, see how exciting is that? That is an alarm. It's a real alarm, and I don't know what to do. I'm going to pause it. Wow, wasn't that fucking exciting? Oh, now the girlfriend's on the phone. Hello? I'm just going to pause it. Wow. Whoa. I think that was probably a good thing, because I was just rambling on. I was just really rambling on. Gosh. Well, the restaurant downstairs, something happened. What was I talking about? American troops and not being very good at it. I'm sure I had loads to talk about this week, but I just really fucked. I've just found out that my iPad, I say my girlfriend's iPad charger's fucked, so I was hoping to do the podcast in Cambodia using that, but that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, sir. I'm afraid that's not gonna happen. Oh, come on, why can't you do it? Because it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna try and do the podcast when I'm away on my phone. I think there's an editing app, so that'll be interesting. I mean, judging by today, I'd be very surprised if I've got any listeners left by next week. Yeah, so just chatting. We just chatting. Here we are. Doctor Who done that. American Bomb Patrol. Bomb Patrol. It was ridiculous. You know what? I've got one for you. So check this out. So I was ill last week. And this week I've got all the holiday stress and I'm fucking exhausted. I've been working my ass off this week, so that when I go away I don't have to think about anything. I can lay on my back, I can just drink a pina colada and watch that beautiful sun go down over the Mekong. It's nowhere near the Mekong, I'm in the southeast, I'm going to Chinookville. But shit, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so right, edit all that out, start again. So last week I was ill, and this week I'm knackered. And as you know, that all that rambling about the Americans, that was almost like just my last bit of energy I've thrown at the podcast. The alarm threw me off, almost quietened me down, calmed me down a bit. But this week, all other sorts of dramas, I just haven't stopped working so that I can go away and relax. And I had this chronic headache the other night. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, it was fucking pounding, and I managed to sleep, and when I woke up it was still going, and right just above my eyes, and I was like, and when just standing up, right, the changing the blood would be going, and I was like, oh God. Now I know that a bit of hash will get rid of that headache, because I know that headache, I've had it before, and it's a well-known fact that there's certain things in the old tetrahydrocannabinol 9 whatever, it will relieve headaches. And so I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't really like it. I don't want to be stoned. Stoned is really boring, and you think you're hilarious when you're stoned, and you are if everyone else is stoned. When you're stoned and everyone else isn't, which is how the adult world should be, not stoned, it's just embarrassing. But this headache was so bad, I just thought, fuck it, man, just top load a joint, just get that bit of old Afghani, there we go, thanks lads, we bomb you, you give us that, get a bit of that and just top load a joint, because I don't like tobacco, I don't smoke, so I thought I'll just put a little bit in the top end of it and just have a couple of drags on it, just to relieve the pressure, because that's what it does. Cannabis reduces pressure in the eye. They use it to treat glaucoma and other things. So I put this little joint together, and I smoked weed from age 16 to 36 all day, every day, without fail, and not a couple here and there. I'd wake up and there'd be one in the ashtray with a couple of grams of weed in it from the night before that I just couldn't handle at 4 o'clock in the morning, like put it in the ashtray. Soon as I open my eyes, goes in my mouth, first breath of the day, a big lung full of skunk. All day, every day. The only time I didn't smoke weed in all that time was if I couldn't get some. And when you're dealing it, growing it, importing it, exporting, when you're working it, that's not very often. So I spent 20 years stoned. But because it's been so long since I was in that life, it's kind of weird for me to roll a joint. I was a bit sort of like and I was sort of holding the Rizzler all really awkwardly. I remember taking me back to art college, I'd be like trying to large it. Yeah, I can throw a joint together without looking after a bottle of vodka. Yeah, what do you mean you're stoned, you prat? You've only had 30 joints. And, all this. And there I was, old man. Oh, I'm going to smoke a bifter. And I put it in my mouth and I lit it. And I sort of started smoking out. Of course, one of the things about smoking weed is you kind of forget things. And I forgot that I was smoking the joint, so of course I've just done it all in, I caned it, and before I know it I've just got this roach in my fingers, and it's like midday Tuesday and I'm just fucked. And I just was proper paranoid. I just was like, oh man, shit, what have I got? I've got things to do. Haven't I got things to do? I thought, shit, I can't be stoned. I've got loads of things to do. And I was just sort of walking around my room thinking, oh man. And then I was looking at my phone thinking, oh fuck, this thing could ring any minute. It was proper like your first stoning. Just, oh man, I need to eat. And like just crisps. Ridiculous. Man, I went to sleep. In the end, I thought, I can't do this. I can't be stoned in this world. I don't like it. Don't like the feeling. And so at about 2 o'clock I climbed into bed and I just thought, please, just sleep. Just gotta fucking sleep. Woke up at about 6 o'clock, rung up the missus, and I was like, God, man, I tried to get rid of my headache by smoking a joint, and she went, yeah, I can tell you're stoned. And the next day she was like, you were so stoned. I don't want people to say that about me. I don't want people to go, oh, you're well stoned. I used to love it. Oh, you're well stoned. I'm like, yeah, I'm stoned. Yeah, I'm well stoned. That's what I do, yeah. And she was like, oh, you were well stoned. And I thought, don't really like that. Don't want to be stoned. I used to get, still do, like, people come up to me after a gig, or like young new comics are like, hey man, what drugs do you do when you go on stage, yeah? And I'm just like, well, nothing, maybe a Valium last night. I don't know where that sort of thing come from. Well, I do actually. I think rock music, isn't it? Like Jim Morrison, he drank 4 bottles of whiskey and shot heroin into his penis before he went on stage. Yeah, he was fucking wicked. And the idea that comics do it, and you know, like even the ones known for drinking, if you watch them, they're not drinking too much, because you don't want a drunk comedian, because drunk people are stupid. You can get a few minutes out of it, but then it's like, oh man, I paid money and spent time to come here, and you're not making much sense. You can have a few drinks, but you've got to be able to make sense. And the idea of going, maybe acid would be quite funny, maybe. Okay, let's have a look at these questions. This week's questions. Gemma Beagley asks, can I ask another question, given that you read mine out last week? Oh, you little bastard, Gemma, you've done it anyway. Right. Gemma Beagley asks, again, do you feel better? Yes, but I'm stressed as fuck, and I haven't done a podcast, and I'm going to Cambodia, and I just want to sleep. Gemma Beagley asks, whatever happened to Katie Hersey? That's not an accusation. What, an accusation? I killed her? Katie's doing fine. She works just up the road. We meet for tea. Hardeep Singh Kohli asks, does playing Ramsey on the right affect his attacking penetration? Well, yes, it does, Hardeep. It does do that, but I don't think we lose out, because we get Ramsey's penetration in other areas, and we know what Wenger's doing. He wants Cazorla and Ramsey in the same team. So if we want Ramsey in his preferred position, we're going to have to lose Cazorla. Cazorla is going to go back to Spain probably this season, this summer anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about the Ramsey situation. John Webb asks, where's my frog? I don't know, John. Where is your frog? Mishka Shubley says, who killed Tommy's boy? There's a cultural reference there that I, for one, don't know, but Mishka Shubley is from New York, so it probably doesn't matter. Peter Hurley asks, what hurts when you get them and when you lose them? Okay, and he also asks, have you been in Kate Middleton's toilet? Well, it's all a question of what you mean by toilet, been, have, and Kate Middleton. Francis O'Grady says, what type of people enjoy the humour of John Bishop? And could there possibly be a cure to this terrible infliction? Well, I think the cure would be to that terrible affliction. Perhaps. William Van Leerop says, what happened to all the old piss pots from prison? Which is perhaps the best question of the week. What did happen to those piss pots from prison? Well, William Van Leerop, in a way, you're one of those piss pots from prison, and I know what you're doing. You work in a crane. Annabelle Lily Thompson says, how much is too much? Well, that's for each of us to decide with each given situation, Annabelle Lily Thompson. Alison Rogers asks, given that society relies on the majority of its members conforming, how can we best encourage, nurture and celebrate the creative individuals, specifically young people? Did you feel your creativity was celebrated or suffocated at school? Well, Alison, the way we do all of those good things for kids is let them be fucking kids, let them make choices, let them do things. Don't tell them what to do, don't restrict them, encourage them to be open and to investigate. And did I feel my creativity was celebrated or suffocated at school? They were just cunts. I think my school done me more damage than everything else put together. I was absolutely rained down upon by absolute shits who were just Absolute cunts. I think that you're getting the idea there. Gina Lyons says, who should I vote for? Well, Gina... Fuck knows. Darren Bailey says, what car would you drive if you could, Dangerous? If I could drive a car, well, I can drive a car. I drove a VW Beetle in first gear all the way down my Art College Drive once. But given the choice, I'd like to have a Dodgem on the roads with a gypsy on the back holding onto the post, intimidating me in front of my 14-year-old girlfriend. I was 14 too. There's your questions done. Oh, fuck, man, look at the time. Look, I have fucked this up. You ain't getting 45 minutes, and judging by the fucking nonsense I've said for the last 30, that's going to be no great big problem. I'm off to Cambodia tomorrow. I've got to get on with that shit. I'm sorry, I've done my best. Listen, look after yourselves and the ones you love. I'm going to try and do a couple of podcasts from... Cambodia, trying to do it, record it, edit it and post it all on my phone, so no doubt that will fuck up, but I'll try and keep you up to date with everything that's happening over there. Yeah, I'm off. See you later. Much later.